Since you're one of the younger ones, have you
Yeah.
had many relationships?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had three relationships now. Longest one was 3 years. And I, at the start, wasn't good at them. They actually take practice, man. That's what no
Mhm.
one wants to say. They actually take practice. You're not going to be good at relationships because, you know, it's a lot of the time, as Ice, you're probably well aware of that. A lot of it's frame control, and a lot of it's being able to handle disrespect and being able to handle shit tests because they never go away. The pushback on, are you a strong man? Is she able to fall into a feminine frame for you to be able to lead and lead effectively, is something that's always going to be tested. Whether you're, I know my grandparents, even my nan used to do that with my grandfather. They've been married 65 years. And I was just like, I was flabbergasted. Now, the interesting thing with me was I had a good paradox because I had my parents who never married, never together, and split up when I was a kid, and I had my grandparents who were together for 65 years. So I saw the both sides of what relationships were, where they had mini relationships, and myself, obviously. And what I've found is that the biggest thing that stuffs up a lot of relationships is two things. Number one, I'd say the biggest thing is that men get the validation from basically being able to have sex anytime, with the girl, and the girl being down. Well, most of my relationships I'm getting with a girl that, likes sex, and we have sex all the time. That's number one. Then guys get addicted to that validation, and that's what sources and feeds their confidence. So now the girl or the woman has the ultimate key to your good emotions and your happiness. That's a dangerous cycle because someone can rip that out real quick, or if she withholds or she weaponizes something, or because most relationships you get to know the intimate details, and in today's society what you're finding is that most relationships the woman is weaponizing the vulnerabilities of the men, and that's a really bad thing. Men are also doing the same thing with women too, so it's not just one side. I'm not just like. And
Yeah,
the
just
second
like
thing.
revenge porn.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of crazy. But and the second thing is that guys change themselves for the girl. I give a great example. Like you've got I usually do a voice with it, but I won't this time but it was basically like you got a motorbike, you're a leather jacket, bad boy, you're killing it. You get a girl she's attracted to, then she's attracted to. She thinks it's so hot. She tells all her friends that you're just bad boy with a motorbike. You get in a relationship. After a few years, she starts to nag at you that she's so scared about when you go out on the motorbike. She gets so worried, and this and that, and then finally her nagging you're succumb to it, and then you sell the bike, and then you get a bit lazy, and then you don't go to the gym, and she starts to chirp and chirp and chirp, and then eventually he breaks up with you. And the reason, you're not the guy that I first was in a relationship with, because he's changed everything about himself because of, again, the addiction and the validation to the good emotions that the girl can provide to him. And so a lot of the time I tell a lot of my clients that you have to be your harshest critic, but your biggest cheerleader, that you are the one that's giving the validation to yourself, not allowing other people to hold that power over you. So that's my 2 cents on relationship dynamics. And again, at the start, most guys completely stuff up the dynamics in the start too. Like from the get go of meeting her, that's when, if you get a relationship or not, that's when the dynamics are starting
Hmm,
from that get go.
interesting. I have had at least seven relationships. It kind of depends on how you define it or how long they were, stuff like that. I could say it could be 10, but I just go for seven. The ones that are more serious, let's
Are they
say.
are
I
they
don't
the
know.
ones you say, like, what are we conversation? Because that's what I deem. I'm like, yo, this is what I think we're doing. Other than the little flings here and there, you can have hundreds of them, but they're not serious kind of things.
Kind of. It's I've been married for nearly 4 years now, so um I remember the order, but I'm trying to remember the ones that I'm not counting. I just can't remember
Sure.
which ones I'm trying to think of. But the ones I am of the seven, of course, I'm married to number seven of this list I'm providing.
Yep.
First one was obese, and that was my longest relationship until I got married. But actually, by the time I was married, we only knew each other for 5.5 months, so we got married very quickly. I
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah,
this on
yeah.
a podcast, and they were like, "Holy shit, that's fucking crazy!" And they say, they asked me, "So how do you recommend people get married?" And I said something along the lines of, "When you get married in 5.5 months, you're either really fucking stupid or there's something right going on." And it's kind of hard to kind of teach which one you might be, because if you know, you know. But then again, there are a lot
Yeah,
of people who, um, if I say that advice to my younger self, the first relationship I was in, oh, I know, but actually I didn't. So I
yeah.
thought I did know. It's just not easy to kind of describe these things. I'm just a redneck from the fucking forest. I'm very bad with my choice of words, but there you go.
You're
Um,
fine. I like it. I like it. I'm Australian with a fucking potty mouth, so you know it works. It works, you know, equally as well, man.
that's good. I never talked to you before, so it's great to have you here. I never knew much
Absolutely. Thanks
about
for
you,
having me
but
on, man.